His hair is styled, I assume, to look like a foxtail since he's a fox boy. He's a fox man. Hello friends and enemies. Today we are looking at another third-party toy producer, GT Toys Dasin, Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama. So the last time we looked at these, we opened Yusuke, and he was fantastic. So I have high hopes for Kurama. He's my favorite character. I think every preteen girl who watched Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama was their favorite character. I could be wrong, but he is much beloved. So if you haven't seen my Yusuke review, go watch it. I give a little bit of history of Yu Yu Hakusho, just what it's about, very quickly. So while Yusuke is our main character of Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurama's one of the secondary main characters, I'd say. The packaging here is pretty much exactly what we saw in the Yusuke figure. The colors are a little bit more vibrant just because Kurama's got a lot of vibrant, warm colors to him. Kurama, his name in kanji, red on the sides. Yu, choking hazard, parts not for children under 15 years old. If you play with this and you're under 15, you will be thrown in a pit filled with snakes. Right, similar to what we had with Yusuke. We've got another wooden plank base, more of these dealies, these rods. And in the Yusuke toy, the rods aren't very helpful. They're a little bit too short to really do anything. Kurama is a very popular Yu Yu Hakusho character because he's like the Bishonen type, you know, the pretty boy type, and he's also just a badass, honestly. And he's also like 4,000 years old, because why wouldn't he be? He's the spirit of a fox that is basically more or less trapped in a human body. Alright, and just like with the Yusuke toy, this one is very well done, really pretty, really accurate to the show. Once again, you've got that same face shape. Kurama's features look exactly how they are in the show. Big, bright green eyes, weird fluffy hair. His hair is styled, I assume, to look like a foxtail since he's a fox boy. He's a fox man. He's really old. He just looks young. Classic anime trope of a ancient demon trapped in a human body, but Kurama pulls it off so well. His outfit is a little more plain compared to Yusuke's because he doesn't have the golden buttons on his uniform, but his uniform is just a striking shade of bright pink, and that is how it is in the series also, with this yellow stripe down it to add a little bit more visual interest. He's got the same nice black shoes. Yeah, the eyes are really pretty, and the shading on the hair is nice too. It must be so difficult to sculpt Kurama in 3D form because that hair is nuts. Like, there's a lot of anime characters with nuts hair, and Kurama is on the tamer side actually, but still, that is an unnatural hair shape. It's so fluffy. And he's got these long locks hanging down the front. His head does seem pretty wobbly. It doesn't really want to stay in place. It's a little loose, so that worries me a little bit, but it's nothing I can't handle, right? On the whole, I'd say this one is less polished than Yusuke, and I don't really know why that is. I think it's just because the uniform is a little bit more ill-fitting, or it doesn't have the golden button accents to distract from the fact that it's a little bit ill-fitting. I mean, the pants look great, just the shoulders here look a little strange to me, and I think the neck is too thick for how small his face is. But a lot of that head is covered up by his fluffy hair, so you gotta take that into consideration. Kurama cannot look up very far because he's got this crazy mop of hair in the back. Can look down a little bit. Yeah, like I said, mine has a pretty floppy head. Some nice tilt. I assume he has the same body as Yusuke underneath, so that means he's got a butterfly joint on the shoulder. Once again, just like with Yusuke, the costume is going to kind of interrupt what you can do with him articulation-wise. Good flex on the arm. Got a ball joint on the wrist, crunch down. We run into that same problem with the pants kind of hindering articulation, but it seems better in Kurama than it did in Yusuke. I wonder if the material is a little bit more stretchy, maybe? Yeah, he seems to be able to get his legs up a lot more. His legs also seem more slender. So, like the Yusuke figure, Kurama will come with a school briefcase, which I don't think we actually see him with a briefcase in the series, but he is a student at a high school, so he should have a briefcase. He'll come with a plethora of hands. Splayed hands, curled hands, grasping hands. I feel like I'm listing out all the ways you can cook shrimp. More grasping hands. And then these are unique. I don't think Yusuke came with these. These are rose holding hands because he comes with roses. He comes with a red rose and a pink rose. Kurama's thing is roses, basically. Well, it's any plants. He can control plant life. He can make any plant into a weapon. Basically, if it's a plant, he can alter it to kill you. So he stores seeds in his hair, which is why his hair is so long, I guess. Also weird, but you do you. And so with these seeds, he can force plant to grow and turn it into a weapon, like this rose whip. Now this is not a really great representation of his rose whip. This looks more like a rose flail or something. The real rose whip is much longer, much thinner, but I imagine that's hard to translate into toy format. I have I think it's Kyoto Kurama statue that comes with the rose whip, and it just snapped in half because it's so delicate and brittle. But yeah, you could slide this rose whip, quote unquote, into his grasping hand and use that. It just doesn't look like the rose whip. So he'll also come with alternate faceplates. You've got kind of a frustrated side eye, probably when his teammates are saying or doing something stupid. You've got a yelling attack face. Look at how delicate his eyebrows are. You've got an eyes closed, concentrating face. Once again, probably stealing his nerve because his teammates are about to do something stupid. And you've got a similar face to the one that he's got on, except he's looking to the side on this one. So let's see if his hair will come off and we can switch out his faceplate. So you have to take off his whole head. Put that on. Put his hair back on. And yeah, I can't really take him seriously with this dinky rose whip. The rest of the figure and the accessories are really neat. Just, they kind of drop the ball on the whip, but once again, that's understandable. So if there's like a third party for the rose whip, you might want to go that route, or you could make one yourself with wire. Not sure how you would go about that, but I'm sure it's doable. So like Yusuke, Kurama comes with a base. Unlike Yusuke, however, he can hold the rose whip on his own. He doesn't need a rod to hold up his weapon, and he also stands up perfectly fine on his own. So I'm not sure if the base is very much needed. It does come with this tab, and I was wondering if you could connect them together, and it looks like you can. So yeah, they're connected together. The colors are a little bit different. That might bother some people. It doesn't bother me. It's cool that they made these bases snap together, so when you have the whole team, you'll have 4 bases, and they can all hang out together. I hope they make more characters. I know they've got Hiei on the way. I don't know if they're making Kuwabara, but I would love to see like a Koenma or Genkai Botan. I have an old Botan toy from like the 90s that I love. I would love a new Botan toy. If they made a Yoko Kurama, that would be cool too. I don't think anyone has made a Yoko Kurama toy. I know there's Yoko Kurama statues, but no toy. So here he is with the GT Toys Dasin Yusuke, and they look fantastic together. I really want the rest of the team. If I can't have all the Yu Yu Hakusho characters, at least give me a Hiei and a Kuwabara. So these guys also look great with your Mezcos. Here we have Doc Nocturnal, the smaller scale Phison toys. We've got Anubis. Anubis should be part of the team. They look a little small compared to slightly larger figures like Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legion's Krampus, but I'm sure there's no end to the monsters that they can fight if you've got a lot of monster toys. It would be cool to set up a display like that, and it is neat that they come with bases. I haven't talked much about the base, but it is a simple wooden floor base, but it is nicely sculpted and nicely painted. So yeah, I would recommend these toys, especially if you are a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho. I guess if you aren't a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, why would you buy them? Also, if you haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho because it's old, you should watch it because it's great. Just because something is old doesn't give it any less value. And I'm not saying that because I'm old. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. That would be very appreciated. Comments are always welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one.